The chapter continued with Mayo asking the bandit why he suddenly wanted to talk, but still decided to listen to him. He asked if she could ask a friend to let them go. He wants to forget about what happened and he won't bother her anymore. The senior policeman understood that they had no idea who the shooter was, so he did not know what to do. Mayo replied that it was impossible to make it clear to the bandit that he was not their friend. She started screaming that the wild sharks had already repented, so she asked for their lives to be spared. Zio asked him what they should do and he told her to wait for his signal. Then he shouted that he would let the sharks go this time and they could leave. The elder realized that he sincerely wanted to help them. When the sharks came out, the main bandit wanted to bring more people and kill them all. At the same time, Wang ordered her to shoot. She immediately shot the bandit in the head and they were shocked, because they were promised that they would be released. Mayo also didn't understand why they were shooting. The main bandit hid behind a friend to save his life. He said it was his fault, because he did not keep his word, and continued to shoot at them. They ran too far and Zio couldn't kill him. Wang also said that everything is fine, because this rifle is not too good. He asked her to wait here and she realized that he was going to negotiate with Officer Milo. Wang replied that she should not worry, because they would not harm him. While they were looking out the window, Van came up to them with a pack of chips. He told them not to be afraid, because he just wanted to talk. Mayo asked him who he was and what he wanted. If it comes to food, they refuse to negotiate. He will invite them to work together, and then he will give them food as a gift at the first meeting. Mayo replied that they didn't need his food. At the same time, Wang added that he could get rid of the gangs and give them both a stable existence. He doesn't want to waste time, so he needs to talk right now. The elder didn't know if he was telling the truth or not, and didn't know if he could be trusted. But Mayo decided to let him in, but she warned him not to do anything stupid. He also asked them not to worry, because it is wiser to cooperate with him. When he entered the building, she put a gun to his head and ordered him to put things on the floor. He replied that he had only this. He put the chips and bag on the floor and Zionan checked the things. It was also full of food. Van said he could give it all to them, but asked for one thing about cooperation with him, and she wanted to talk about it on the second floor. When they were climbing up, he asked her to be careful that she didn't accidentally pull the trigger. She assured him that she was a good shooter and only shoots at bad people. The elder realized that it was he who helped them and greeted him. Van realized that there were other children here besides that boy. He was shunned a lot. Wang Po greeted them and Mayo explained that they had all been through trouble before she took them in, which is why they are so careful with Wang. The protagonist noticed that she put away her weapon, so she trusts him. She asked him what his purpose was. Wang clearly told her that she wanted to unite to fight back against a gang of wild sharks. For her, it was nonsense, because they have a lot of people. Zionan asked him if he could fight a gang of sharks and called Wang cool. Wang understood that they might misunderstand him, but he explained that the Tiger Head Gang and the Bear Gang were fighting now. It only remained to light a fire between wild sharks and flying eagles, and so they would benefit by doing nothing. And although the officer understood that if they killed each other, there would be no large organizations left in the city, however, she was not interested in his proposal. He didn't understand why, because it was a great opportunity. Zio added that then she would have to take not only the children, but also the eldest with a wounded leg. She's not interested in gang fights right now. She would just get enough food and get them out of here as fast as she could. He suggested that she think again. He knows that he has disturbed her, however, if she helps him, she will bring her even more food. Nan, opening the bag, said that Wang was not lying. The protagonist asked to believe him, because this food is a luxury here, but he has 100 times more of this food at his disposal. She didn't know who he was if he could get so much food. Van understood that she was wondering where he got so much food from, but he asked not to worry about it. He just needed an answer. Mayo understood that if she worked with him to get food, they wouldn't have to go out and look for it, and they wouldn't have to worry about it, but she didn't know if she could trust him. She asked the elder for his opinion. He also told her that if everything was all right for her, he would support her. At the same time, others intervened. They said that it was better to fight than to hide and constantly live in fear. They don't want to be a burden to her. They will do everything in their power not to cause them trouble. They wanted to fight wild sharks together. Zio told them that it could cost them their lives. At the same time, Zionan started shouting and saying that the officer was a coward. Since she did not want to help Wang, she would do it herself. He didn't want to calm down, because wild sharks killed his parents. It's time for revenge. At the same time, Wang put his hand on his head and asked him not to talk to Yun like that. After all, she makes every decision based on their protection. If she was really afraid, she would have left him long ago. He asked him to quickly apologize to Yun, and the boy did it. For this, Zio lightly hit him and explained to him that she could not wait to bring them to justice. But the reality of the situation did not allow it. They don't match either their numbers or their firepower. Wang told her that he had started a fight between the Bears and the Tiger Head Gang, and it was only natural that wild sharks and flying eagles would be next. If they help him light a fire, that will be enough. He has a huge amount of ammunition. Mio said that she is the only one who can help him since her eldest is injured and cannot walk, and the rest are just children. But that was enough. He told Nan what he was waiting for because it was time to go. Mio also added that everyone else should also gather because they are moving. Wang was glad to have found reliable teammates here again. When they were already on the spot, Zio found the wild shark's weapons. This gun is powerful, but too loud. They will be easily discovered with him. While Zio was aiming, everyone else started eating the food. Mio realized that there were only 2 of them and they were going to fight with wild sharks, but Wang added that there are now 3. Besides, Zio is not a bad shooter. The older one said that beer is so refreshing. That's why it's expensive here. He thanked Wang for that. Zio said that there were more of them, but because of her carelessness, she drank most of them. Mio was surprised that he had beer, because they change it on the streets for 3 packs of bullets. The elder liked beer very much, and it would have been even better with cigarettes. Wang added that although it would be difficult, he would bring it next time. He also said that there is also beer for Officer Mio. She was just shocked and glad, because she had not drunk it for a very long time. When she opened it and started drinking, Zio also asked, but Wang was against it. When Mio drank the beer, it refreshed her very much and she was happy. At the same time, Wang decided to give them even more food and asked them not to be shy. They were happy about it and asked Yoon if they could eat it. She gave her consent, but everyone has to choose one thing. Then they heard explosions and Zio realized that the bears and Tiger Head were already fighting. He told Mio again that he had not deceived her, because there was already a war going on between the bear gang and the Tiger Head. She said she would trust for a while, but she has a question. He has enough food to last the 2 of them. Why didn't he run away with Zio? Why did he need to destroy these gangs? Wang explained that these 4 gangs have done a lot of bad things over the years, and he is sick of their atrocities. Now that he has the power, he will remove them. Officer Mio firmly adheres to justice. He must not let her know that he is here for the gold bars. He asked Nan to come over because they left the gun here. They were shocked because he suddenly gave the gun to him. He told him that even though he was small, but as a real man in this world with this gun, he had to protect his sister and sisters. Nan asked Mio if he could take this gun and she gave her consent. Wang asked the boy to remember what he had told him and added that tomorrow he would start teaching him shooting. Mio understood that he had so easily given them a helping hand, and now he was teaching them to defend themselves. She wondered for herself who he was. Then she told them to have a good rest, because they are moving out tomorrow. The next day, after a hearty breakfast, Zio and Officer Mio went to the base of the Wild Shark Gang. Officer Mio knew this Dingsheng area well and so they quickly found the Wild Shark headquarters. However, their base was strictly guarded, so they hid in an approximate building. After examining them, Van realized that they had several pistols, and the rest with sticks and knives. Mio suggested killing those with weapons first. When the bandits were guarding the point, another bandit decided to go to the toilet, but the thug with a gun was immediately shot. Everyone immediately raised the alarm and told them to be careful. Then they deftly dealt with the bandits. At the same time, Wang grabbed them by the head and bent them down. He now wanted to create problems for the Flying Eagles. After we are shown that the shark boss saw all the corpses, she was angry that they dared to attack them unexpectedly. She wanted to find and kill those who did it. The bandits understood that since the Bear Gang and Tiger Head were fighting now, the only ones who could attack them were the Flying Eagles. They wanted to destroy them, but she told them to shut up because it was suspicious. After all, a gang of Flying Eagles would not dare to start a war with them. There must be someone else trying to provoke them. She wanted to find out what happened between bears and tigers. She ordered to find out if anyone has appeared in the city in recent years. She ordered to call all her people, because in such a situation, they need to strengthen their strength. She didn't know who was behind it, but if both the Tiger Head Gang and the Bear Gang got hurt, then she could capture the Flying Eagle Gang. At this time at the Eagle's base, Faye was playing with his subordinates and he won again, but wanted to continue. At the same time, his subordinates appeared, who said that they had started a fire at the sentry post. Afterwards, we are shown that Wang and his group of 2 girls have already killed the bandits and taken their pistols. Mio was surprised that the Flying Eagle Gang and the Wild Shark Gang were so worthless, but it was all because they cheated. Besides, they are used to doing bad things, so death is nothing to them now. Then Zio appeared, who reported that she had already set fire to the posts. Wang was pleased with this and told them to go back. Overnight, all 4 gangs were forced to act. The war between tigers and bears has escalated. Now these gangs will fight to the very end. There is only one way out for each of them, victory or defeat. There will also be a war between Flying Eagles and Wild Sharks soon. It's all part of his plan. He will have fun watching their actions. Already at night, Ven decided to practice shooting and shot at beer cans. Out of 10 shots, he didn't get a single hit. Immediately Mayo came up to him, who said that he would now spend all the bullets. Wang apologized to her because he thought he had woken her up, but she offered her help in return. She looked very good, and so Wang was a little embarrassed. The officer added that she should thank him. After all, he helped her find her old self. He didn't understand a little what she and Mayo were talking about, took the gun and shot into the jar. Van immediately noticed that she was an excellent shooter because she had been a policeman before. After the onset of the post-apocalypse, besides the master, there were other companions with her. They protected ordinary people, but over time, there was less and less food. Her companions quarreled and died one by one before her eyes. She began to doubt her beliefs. This world turned into chaos, and she had no one to protect after she found those kids. And even though she protected them, she still lost all will to fight. Wang also noted that it was surprising that she was able to protect them, given the brutality of the 4 gangs and the lack of food. She said that before the leaders of these gangs were petty hooligans, she had even arrested some of them. However, in an instant they gained great power and gathered their gangs. She could only calmly look at their cruelty and feel useless. But Wang told her that this was not the case. Because she is very strong and brave, he was glad that she did not become bad after all this. Besides, she guards her territory and protects these children. He added that she is much better than him and he admires her from the bottom of his heart, and only the real ones are important. Then he asked her if she would teach him shooting. She approached him and said it was easy. As soon as he understands the essence and follows his feelings, he can become a skilled shooter. Then she put her hand on his neck and told him to aim where he wanted to hit. He should focus on the target, then hold his gaze, the muzzle and the target at the same level. Then I asked him if he already felt it. She touched her breasts to him and therefore Wang was very embarrassed and said that he felt. At the same time, she advised him to shoot. And as a result, he got into the jar. He was glad that he could get in. He felt a great feeling when he got there. Mayo told him to work hard and then his shooting skills would improve. At the same time, Wang added that as soon as he destroyed these gangs, he would show her a beautiful world. She asked him if he wanted her to go with him. He told her that when they were done, they would get out of here. But she told him that they would talk about it later, and now he needed to continue training. At this time, Xiao appeared, who also really wanted to shoot and sadly ate food. Already in the morning, the war between the Tiger's Head and Bear's gang was fierce. The sounds of gunshots and explosions did not stop in the city. He and Xiao were responsible for infiltrating the territory where the 2 factions were fighting and gathering information. The Tiger Head gang did not give up until the end, and finally defeated the Bear gang. However, they suffered heavy losses. Only more than 10 people managed to survive. In addition, the loud noise attracted zombies, and now their building is surrounded by thousands of zombies. After learning about the situation between these gangs, the gang of wild sharks moved out in full force. But the Flying Eagles sent a spy to the wild sharks to give them information about them. At this time, Faye was saying that he would not let the wild sharks kill him. He was giving a beautiful speech to his gang, as a result of which they wanted to kill their enemies. There are few guards left in the wild shark building, and this is an ideal opportunity to get inside. Then one guard was killed, and Wang crept up to the second from behind and told him not to move. The bandit asked for mercy, and the protagonist told him that if he did not want to die, he had to cooperate with them. Xiao and Mayo approached them saying that Wang was right. The bandit said that the food is on the top floor. Only machine gunners are guarding there, so they are unlikely to be able to take anything, but Van was interested in gold. The guard said it was in a warehouse on the ground floor, but why would he need it? When they entered the building, the bandit said that there was a storage room at the end of this corridor. They had not been there for a long time. Wang asked him if it was a trap, but he told him that his life was in their hands, so he definitely wouldn't be able to deceive them. At the same time, Mayo told him to go there first. Wang understood that Mayo was taking a very careful approach to the matter. He felt safe with her. The protagonist agreed with her and ordered him to go first. It turns out there is a staircase to the top floor, but they won't be able to see it until they get closer. As soon as he gets to the stairs, he can run away and notify the guys at the top. He wanted to kill Wang and lock up the girls. He thought that he could do something dirty with them and was glad that there were 2 of them. He decided to call Wang first and he followed him. Then he immediately said that they were losers and that his brothers would kill them soon. They understood that they should not let him escape and chased after him. Running away from them, he already dreamed of those girls, but he was captured by zombies. Van told them to stop. They heard screams and pleas for help and blood flowed from there. There were a lot of zombies there. They were near the door to the vault and Xiao asked him what they should do. For their safety, he invited them to leave. But the officer did not agree. She did not know why he needed these gold bars, but since they would help him destroy these gangs, then they should not retreat. Xiao supported her, because it's a great time, although it's hard, but when they still have such an opportunity. Van realized that they were right and it could be worse next time, so he decided to act. He didn't want to back down when he had such brave girls by his side. They prepared for battle and rushed straight at them. They easily destroyed all these zombies and entered the vault. There was a lot of gold lying there, but he wasn't that excited. They didn't understand how they would endure so much. Mayo said that there are about 40 tons of gold here. Wang roughly calculated and found out that all this would cost $16 billion. Before the post-apocalypse, all this gold was returned to the state, and then she apologized, saying that she said it out of habit. She wondered how they would take it away. And Wang called the system. She congratulated him on discovering a large amount of gold bars and asked him if he wanted to update the system. To begin with, he wanted to find out how much gold there was, and the system reported that there are 46.250 kilograms. Wang told them that they would not take this gold. Mayo asked him why, because they had made their way there with such difficulty. Zio agreed, because they can carry away at least some of it. Wang explained to them that it was not they who would take the gold, but some others. He said that a secret organization was behind him, but he could not tell them the details yet. His task is to find these ingots and send the location. Then the organization will plan everything, and then send people to pick them up. Zio realized that when he disappeared for 7 days, he was actually just returning to the organization, and Wang confirmed it. Mayo wasn't surprised, because he had such precious food. She asked him what his organization was doing. Wang told her that he could not talk about it, but asked her to trust him. He will never use them and will not harm them. The officer told him that she had been watching him all these days, so she was sure that he had a good reason not to talk about it. He said he would send the coordinates now, and they should wait outside and watch the door. They agreed, but asked him not to stay long, because this is the headquarters of wild sharks. When they exited, Wang told the system to update and the process started. Everything went well and an extra large system space was auto-loaded. Now he just needs to think about the thing he wants to put here, and then it will automatically be placed in the system space. He was glad of this and said that he wanted to place all the gold that is here in the system space. All the gold was preserved, and the 1,000 kilograms needed for the upgrade were deducted accordingly. Now it will be easier for him with such a mobile space. Then he asked if he had any more updates. The system explained that going to the next level costs 30 kilograms of gold, after which a lottery system opens where he can spend his gold to win something in the lottery. And even though it was very expensive, but he needed it. His fighting abilities are at a low level, and he always relies on Zio and Mayo. As a man, he shouldn't let a girl protect him. He has to get stronger. When it was all over, Wang decided to open a lottery system. A slot machine appeared in front of him. The system explained to him that each draw costs 50 kilograms of gold. There are lots of prizes here, and he can see for himself. He was surprised that he had just spent a large amount of gold on updating the system, and he still needed to deposit 50 kilograms of gold for each draw. The system assured him that it was the best value for money, and he should not forget to say, "I will invest money and make you strong." Van understood that he could spend money to become strong. Besides, he now has a lot of gold. In addition, all the games he played since childhood were only about European kings, so he is always lucky. He decided to try his luck and pulled the lever. Wang understood that if he got super skills, he would be able to fight flying eagles and wild sharks himself. Even when he comes back, he doesn't have to be afraid of this Mr. Lee. He immediately got super skills and he was very happy about it. But it turned out that only an increase in attributes by one indicator fell out. He started crying that he had spent 50 kilograms of gold to increase agility. He wanted a super skill, and he got such a prize. He decided to continue playing, but he got anti-tank grenades, a night vision device, a grenade launcher and rockets, and a package of sharp sticks. After a bunch of attempts, he got a skill book. He was glad that at least she had fallen out. He asked the system to show his characteristics and noticed that his indicators were increased, but not much. He asked the system to tell him about this skill. Shooting improvement. Level 1, increase the hit rate by 10 points, exactly by 10 points, and the shooting range by 100 meters. In order to move to the next level, you need to kill 1,000 zombies. His score is 0 out of 1,000. Now he spent a lot of gold, but he didn't get anything good. But he assumed that this time it would be a little easier to get skills, so he decided to play again and again. 2 minutes later, Wang became even more desperate. After all, he didn't get anything for 5 samples. He spent 20 million, but received only 2 packages of sharp sticks and mineral water. But there are 2 more useful things. A box of cartridges for a rifle. This is just the right amount of cartridges to increase his shooting skills. And the second is the super skill Flaming Hand. With this skill, Wang can strengthen his hands and punch even boulders. Finally, he had a super skill to protect himself. Now he can protect himself both in the real and in the virtual world. Then the system reported that there is only 2,075 kilograms of gold left in the space, and this gold is not needed yet, only if the system does not need them. Wang understood that if he returned to the real world for 1 day, then 7 days would pass here, for the sake of Zio and Mayo's safety. He must deal with a gang of wild sharks. At this time, Mayo took a bottle of cola and took just a sip. But he refreshed her very much and she was happy. Zio started laughing at her, because she had exactly the same expression when she first drank the Coke that Wang gave her. But I immediately noticed that it would be better if it was with ice. She recalled that they used to be able to drink cola with ice whenever they wanted. But now it's a luxury. Zio also asked her not to worry, because as long as she was with Wang, she would not lack for food. Mayo noticed that when she talks about Wang, she becomes so happy and asked her if she really fell in love with him. To which Zio of course began to deny and Mayo understood everything. At the same time, Van appeared, who asked what they were talking about here. Then Wang added that it was time for them to leave. Mayo assumed that now was the perfect opportunity to blow up this building, but Wang replied that there was a better way. Now they will help the Flying Eagles gang. The girls were surprised that Wang offered to help the Flying Eagles, and although they are the weakest, they still did a lot of bad things. But Wang told them to believe him. Now the best way to fight wild sharks is to support Flying Eagles. At this time, there was a fierce struggle in the headquarters of the Flying Eagles. They shot at people who were protected by shields. Faye ordered them to replenish the bullets quickly. He wanted to show who is the main enemy gang here. At the same time, another bandit told them to hold on because Sin would come soon. At this time, Sin and the bandit were watching from the car. He didn't know if it was normal that they were fighting alone. She explained to him that they were just cannon fodder for her. All this talk about loyalty is just to brainwash them. She sent them to the front to attract the main firepower. And the boss of this gang, this punk, is a sucker. She sent these guys to die first so that he would put his heavy troops at the main gate. Because they are outnumbered, the other three sides will be empty. She has at least 4 times as many people as he does. As soon as the intermediate attack ends, the Flying Eagles gang will come to an end. At this time, on the other side, the gang threw hooks and began to climb up. The bandit on the wall reported that there are a large number of wild shark people on the east side. They reported this to the fairy, but he just grinned. He ordered them to defeat them and they started shooting. But the bandits were quickly killed and the enemies began to climb the stairs. When one of the bandits climbed up, he was immediately killed and he fell down. They realized that there were snipers who had recently helped Officer Milo. They ordered a quick search of the nearest building, because they should not be far away. They shouldn't miss them this time. Sin didn't want any people to go against him. His partner suggested that he retreat, but Sin just kicked him out of the car. She told the radio that whoever finds them will get a bag of flour and a bottle of wine. Therefore, the bandits ran straight into the building. They assumed that they were on the balcony. Zio realized that they had found out where she was. She immediately remembered Wang's words. Zio and Mayo were supposed to distract a gang of wild sharks. After each shot, they have to move to a new place, so they won't know how many of them there are. Zio realized that now that she was exposed, he decided to change his position. Faye at this time ordered to protect the north, south, and west sides. At the same time, the bandit informed Faye that he had good news. The attack of wild sharks is blocked, but he does not know who is helping him. Faye was glad, because it must be a servant sent by God. The Flying Eagles do not know that he, along with Zio and Mayo, are helping them in the fight against a gang of wild sharks. Even if these 2 snipers don't defeat a gang of wild sharks, they may well be able to hold them for a long time. And Van himself will wait for the best moment. Sin was informed that someone was firing at them and asked what they should do, because he could not find them, because they were not predictable and they had already lost 20 people. At this time, the Flying Eagles had already begun to act, and he was again asked if they should continue to attack. She started shouting at them to continue killing, and those who dared to escape, to kill on the spot. At the same time, Faye asked why they were gathering here. Then he asked how much fire did they have, but they have nothing left. The head understood that if they burst in now, they would not be able to escape. They would only have to fight hand to hand. At the same time, Sin herself drove up to them by car. Van was glad that she had finally appeared. She greeted Faye. He was very angry that they had suffered great losses because of her. She told him she was giving him a chance. She would let them live if they joined him, and they will immediately stop the offensive if they do that. Besides, he has to listen to what she tells him, and then he will continue his role as the boss. He climbed the wall and told him that he would never be at his beck and call. Not accepting her offer, Sin said that whoever brought his head would receive 10 bags of flour. Everyone was happy about this and ran to put ladders on the walls. Sin immediately started shooting at the remaining bandits of the Flying Eagles and literally destroyed their wall with a machine gun. The bandits wanted to use firepower and launch an attack. But suddenly an explosion occurred and they turned around and saw that a rocket was flying into the car. But Sin managed to survive and the bandits flew away from the explosion. They were glad that God had really sent them a man with help. Faye also said that this was their chance and they opened fire. The bandits running away ran up to Sin to help her. Her partner picked up Sina and asked her to rest against him. She didn't understand where he got such firepower from. She didn't understand who it was. Wang added that it was easy. Now that they don't threaten Zio and Mayo, he can't be calm. After all this, Faye was told that although they lost a lot of people, they were able to survive in the end. He asked to bring his wonderful device. At this time, Van decided to hide his grenade launcher, and the system removed it. At the same time, the gang brought huge speakers and Faye said that he did not know who he was. But on behalf of the Flying Eagles gang thanked him for saving his life. He could contact them at any time if he needed help. And if they can help, they will definitely do it. But Van doesn't need it and he thought to himself that he should forget about it. After the battle, both gangs lost a lot of troops. But the Wild Shark gang suffered the most, with more than 30 people left and more than half of them injured. The leader of the Wild Shark gang, Singh, was seriously injured and the Flying Eagles had to recover, so both gangs probably wouldn't dare to make any reckless moves against each other. Since everything is so calm now, he can come back. Afterwards, they all celebrated the victory. The elder did not think that the three of them would cause serious damage to these two gangs. He was sorry that he could not walk normally. Otherwise, he would have taken part himself. Nan also said that he would also like to kill a couple of bandits. But the girl told him that he should stay in place because he is weak, but the kid assured her that he trains every day. Wang also asked Bei and Nan to stop fighting. They will still have many chances to protect them in the future. Wang added that he doesn't think there will be any more noise from a gang of wild sharks or flying eagles, but they'd better find a new base just in case. He suggested they go to the suburbs. There are a lot more zombies there, but there are fewer living people, so you don't have to worry about being attacked. He's coming back, so they can stay there for a few days. When he comes with food for them, they will be able to find a safer place. Mayo asked him why he should leave now, but Van has to leave for 7 days or so to get supplies. But this time he will come back with a bunch of things, fresh vegetables and meat too. So they have to say they want to eat and he will bring everything. They were happy because of this and each asked for something different. He said that he would bring everything without any problems. Mayo asked for a cold beer, and the elder asked for cigarettes, and then they decided to celebrate their great victory. The next morning, they drove to the suburbs. It's full of zombies, but that's why he wants to move here. Because from now on, he needs to kill a lot of zombies to boost his skills, for the sake of safety. He gave the pistols to Bao and Nan, which he took from a gang of wild sharks. It's a little ridiculous to give children weapons, but it would be better if in a post-apocalyptic world they had weapons so that they could protect themselves and others. Already in the evening, he put them a box and 10,000 bullets. This should be enough for them all. First thing tomorrow morning, he wants to clear the area of zombies and practice shooting. He asked them if they wanted to go with him. Of course they agreed, because Nan wanted to show how well he can shoot. Zio also wanted to go with them, but Mayo said that she was already a good shooter, so they could do other things. Even though Wang Bing will be gone for a while, they still need to prepare a meal. They wanted to go to the nearby mountains tomorrow and not collect some wild herbs. The chapter began with the fact that Van was not against them going for vegetables. After all these days he only ate instant noodles that he was already sick of it. He will be happy if they can bring some wild vegetables and seafood. Zio agreed to go with Officer Mayo to the mountains, but she actually wanted to spend some time with Wang Bing before he left. After I show us how Van went to training with the children, he immediately fired and the zombies noticed the sound and began to crawl on him. They noticed that they were already surrounded on all sides by zombies. Wang also asked her not to worry, because when they gather here, she will see everything herself. Van started shooting at them first and then asked why they were standing still, because it was time to practice shooting. Nan wanted to show them how he learned not to shoot badly. It was easy to move around the countryside, so he practiced with these two kids all day, and before he realized it, night had fallen. In the past few days, they have been repeating their daily routine, killing zombies here, using about 3,000 rounds of ammunition, until they have almost cleared the area of all zombies. Wang understood that the kids were improving every day, so now they are able to protect their people. And most importantly, his skills have improved too. The system then informed him that he had reached the 3rd level. The hit rate increased by 80 points, accuracy by 80 points, range by 200 meters. A sumptuous dinner was waiting for them in the evening. There were not only vegetables, but also fried pig and fried chicken. They were very happy. Zio said it was the result of spending a lot of time in the kitchen. The girl added that it was all for the sake of what Van had done for them. He was a little surprised, and the elder explained that since Yun found out that he was leaving, she wanted to cook him a delicious meal, and this would see him off. So he and Zio went hunting together, found vegetables, and went door to door looking for condiments. And even though he has been her eldest for a long time, he has never been treated like this in all his years. Mayo got a little angry and said that if he doesn't want to, he cannot eat. He told her that she had prepared a wonderful dinner. Mayo added that it's like when she used to cook a lovely dinner for those who were sentenced to death. She also advised him to thank Zio. The boar's head remained from the last time, but Zio shot the pheasant. He hugged her and said that she was doing well, and that they did not need to be nice to each other because they were already friends in arms. In fact, she was happy that she was a close person to Wang, but then she realized that he had only called her a friend. At the same time, Nan asked if they could already eat because they were very hungry, and Mayo gave her consent and they all started the meal. After Zio asked him if he leaves it all to them, then what will he do? But Van assured him that only one gun would be enough for him and that he left everything for these three. Mayo also asked him not to worry because they will take care of everything. Zio also suggested that she could go with him because she was worried, but Wang asked her not to worry and to stay here to protect everyone. He guaranteed that he would be back in a week. She agreed with him and added that she would definitely wait for him. After that, they show us that Van has already entered the room and the girls are thinking. Mayo asked if Wang also disappeared when he was alone in the room and Zio confirmed it. At this time, Wang told the system to start moving. Already in the real world, Van was drinking beer with his friends and just relaxing. Van told them to eat too because he was hungry as a wolf. His friend didn't understand why he looked so hungry and ordered so much food that they wouldn't eat it. Initially, Wang wanted to invite them to some posh restaurant, but he really missed the meat, so he called them here first. In a post-apocalyptic world, you need to be on your guard all the time because of zombies and other people. Still, food is in short supply there. But in this world you can enjoy not only the clear sky, but also eat everything you want. He was very happy to live in this world. His friend suggested that because he had become rich, he had gone a little crazy. At the same time, another friend said that since he had insulted Mr. Lee, they were already looking for him. Wang also told them not to talk about not, and asked what they would do after graduation. The first friend will go to work in a brokerage company, and the other one wants to start his own business, but does not yet know what to do. Wang asked him if he was interested in jewelry. He explained that he had some jewelry at a low price. If he was interested, then they could unite and open a jewelry store. They agreed. They wanted to invest the money that Wang gave them and become shareholders. But Wang said that he would make the initial payment himself, and they should use the money for themselves. His friend asked if he had enough money to invest in this. Wang said he was going to invest 20 million and another 2 kilograms of gold. They immediately started counting how much it costs. It turned out that 2,000 kilograms of gold would cost $800 million. His friend asked him if he was sure, but Wang was clear in his decisions. He asked them not to count, but just to eat, because after that he would show them something. His gold is in his villa. After that, he showed them his gold and they were just shocked. One friend hugged the gold and thought it was all a dream. Then another friend kicked him so he wouldn't think it was a dream. The friend immediately began to demand clarification from Wang and asked if he had committed illegal actions, but he denied everything. He asked them to choose the location of the store, get a business license. He trusts them with all this. They agreed and said they would do their best. At the same time, Wang added that they were partners, and if so, he would give each 10% of the shares. Friends noticed that business is business. He pays for everything and he gives them 10% for nothing. It was too much for them. Besides, they're pretty bad at it. But Wang didn't doubt their abilities. Xingping, as an extrovert, was supposed to be responsible for managing the store and staff, and Hongfei, as an introvert, will be responsible for the internal management of the company and at the same time study the design of jewelry. When their company strengthens, they will open another investment company. Xingping loves speculating on the stock exchange, so when the time comes, he will be in charge of the investment company. Together they will be able to build a powerful business empire. They hugged him with happiness because they didn't even know how to thank him. Then his phone rang and Van said that what he ordered had arrived. When they went outside, there was already a truck there. It turned out he had ordered bags of wheat and rice flour, as well as a lot of vegetables and fruits. They assumed that he was going to leave and hide from Mr. Lai with these supplies. But Van replied that he was not afraid of him, and all this would be useful to him. At the same time, they said that he was receiving goods here, and they would take care of the company's affairs. After that, Van was just walking down the street and his friends asked him not to hurry because they hadn't finished yet. Wang told them that everything was fine because he was enjoying every minute of his life. Wang understood that he had spent more time in the post-apocalyptic world recently than he had here, so it was strange to return to the real world. He assumed that he had been in that world for so long that he had become so sensitive and depressed. He has matured a lot, having known life and death in that world. When he looks at these college students his age, he feels this wonderful time of youth. Or maybe it's because he's rich and his perception of everything has become different. If he hadn't found himself in another world, he would probably be hurriedly running towards the future now after graduating from uni. He is the best student in the opinion of others, but so what if it is? In the face of all these people and hard work, his perfection is insignificant, but God gave him a chance. And now he will become an influential person in these two worlds. As he walked on, guys appeared in front of him and asked him if he was Wang Bing. He understood that these thugs were sent by Mr. Lee to teach him a lesson. He immediately told them that he was Wang Bing and asked what they needed. The head was pleased that he was brave, then asked if he had heard anything about Brother Dong from the Black Tiger Gang. Wang told them to stop talking nonsense and asked about Li. The head was pleased that he got straight to the point and asked if he was ready to be beaten. Mr. Li told them to bring his leg, but Wang told them that if they could, they should try to take his life as well. Wang also noted that this is not a suitable place and asked them if they were ready to change the location. The head agreed and asked him to show what he was capable of. The bandit warned Don that he could cheat, and so he asked to call their guy and call them. After that, they were in the forest and Don told him that he respected him for his courage. Wang replied to him that this was the real him, then added that they should not waste time and attack him. Don admitted that he was smart and brave enough, and if it wasn't for Li's order, they could have become friends. After all the bandits rushed straight at him, Wang realized that his fiery hand had already reached the 2nd level, so he just wanted to practice on them and immediately hit the bandit and he flew away. Don was surprised that Wang knew the art of war. He ordered them to take weapons and surround him. They did so and rushed from all sides, even managed to wound Van's back. At the same time, Wang hit the bandit and he also flew away. Don also decided to intervene and took out his dagger. He tried to kill him, but at the last moment Wang caught the blade, so Don was very surprised by this. He called them names, saying they were not black tigers, but just little cats, and hit him in the balls. And then I decided to finish him off, and hit him with a strong blow from the palm of my hand. When Don fell, Wang told them to come over and keep fighting. But the bandits didn't really want to go first. 2 cars immediately drove up and the bandits realized that it was their guys who drove up. Pormu said that Van would definitely die today. They picked up Don and he was angry at them that they dared to be late. Don understood that even though he knows martial arts, but now there are too many of them, so he won't do anything. Initially, he just wanted to take her leg, but now he definitely won't leave. Wang understood that the level of the flame hand was not that high. He could handle 5-6 people with it, but it would be difficult with so many people. Don ordered them to attack him, because if something happens, he will take care of it. Wang, using the system, took out a pistol and fired upwards. They were surprised that he had a gun. They immediately asked Don why he didn't say anything about having a gun, but Don himself didn't know anything. Wang pointed the barrel at them and told them to come up. Don said he only had 1 gun, and there were a lot of them, so they didn't need to be afraid. Wang immediately shot Don in the leg and asked who wanted to get shot next. Don asked to get up. When he got up, he shouted that they were a gang of black tigers, but Wang pointed the gun directly at his face. Don added that they only wanted to be friends and suggested that they leave everything in the past. At the same time, Van made a fake shot and the thugs were very scared and dropped Don. Van didn't care that they were a gang of black tigers and that there were a lot of them, but he still offered to cooperate with them. They all raised their hands and started apologizing to him. Even Don started crying and Wang started laughing at him. After he called them scum, Wang allowed them to run away, which they did, and dragged Don into the car. When they left, Van confessed that he was scared to death, but he was glad that they cared, otherwise he would have had big problems. He immediately got a call from Xingping, who asked how he was, because they had heard that some people had taken Wang away. He replied to his friend that everything was fine and had already dealt with them. Shin was surprised, because these are real Yakuza. But Wang asked him not to worry and to pick him up by car, since there are no taxis here. After they were sitting in a cafe, Sin said that this was a real mess. Wang also admitted that he would hide for a while and asked him to get information. In fact, he will use this as an excuse to return to another world. Sin replied that he would help him and let him know as soon as something happened. Then Wang asked him how he did and why Fei didn't come. He told him that they had already registered, but the business license would be ready in half a month, so Hong Fei was in such a hurry to find a suitable store that he did not go with him. Wang said he didn't have to worry about the store and could go to the agent without any hassle. When they should tell Wang, and when he returns, they will open their store. Of course, Shin was glad to hear this, but he was even more angry at Li. Wang replied that sooner or later he would take care of him, so Xing should just concentrate on his business and not worry about anything else. At the same time, Wang said that he had some other things to do, so he was going to leave and finally gave him advice not to contact Li. Xing didn't understand how Wang could ignore someone who was bullying him. Fei immediately called him and informed him that he had found Li. He was now at the club. After that, they show us how drunk Li was in the toilet and was doing his own business, how a hand was put on his shoulder and therefore he was not happy, but they immediately threw a bag on him and started beating him with bats. Xing and Fei started threatening him and Li asked how much they wanted them to stop. Fei told him that they didn't need money, but only him. They tied him up and took him to the bathroom and threw him right there and ran away. At this time, Wang was about to leave for another world. He understood that all these things should be enough for everyone for a month. He also needed to get a refrigerator so they could drink cold soda and beer. He was pleased because he understood that Xiao and the others would definitely be happy. He asked the system to move all these things into free space. Then he asked her if all these products would spoil if he moved them, but the system explained that it has a built-in super freshness function, so he can store the products as long as he wants. Wang understood that the system was so universal that he would no longer have to worry about preserving food. After that, the system reported that the space is activated and the transfer is underway. At this time, Nan said that today was his birthday and that Wang should return. The elder said that he was in a safe enough place. Even if he didn't come back, they should still wish him happiness. He helped them so much. You won't find a man like him in this world. Mayo agreed with him, because he doesn't have to take care of them all the time. Xiao added that when Wang left for the first time, she thought almost the same as they did. At that time, she thought that he had lied to her, but she still had a little hope, and every night she came to the room where Wang had left to see if he had come. Just when she was almost upset, he came back, so she suggested they wait a little longer. She was sure that Wang would return as promised. The other girls also believed that Van would come back and that he would definitely not lie. Bao has already said that if he doesn't come back, he will die of longing. After all, he promised to practice shooting together. At the same time, the door opened. Wang came in and greeted everyone. Xiao immediately rushed at him and hugged him. Wang said she was still so emotional and was a little embarrassed that her breasts touched him. Nan, starting to cry, said that he thought he had already left them. But Wang told him he was stupid for thinking he would break his promises. He told everyone to come up, because he brought a lot of good things. All these are the freshest fruits. The children began to eat fruit and were very happy. Mayo understood that if he was not there, then everyone was worried about him, but when he was around, everyone was happy. In a short time, Wang Bing became the heart of the team. He also called an officer and said he had brought her a cold Coke. She was really a cold Coke. She was glad that he had such great connections. Both girls opened a Coke and started drinking it. It was very cold and refreshing. They liked this wonderful feeling. Van was glad that they liked it and promised to continue bringing similar things. Li then asked if he had brought what he asked for, but Wang just couldn't forget about it and gave him his favorite cigarettes. Li was insanely happy and even wanted to kiss him. He sniffed the cigarette and said that so many years had passed since the last cigarette. At the same time, Nan asked Li to try, but he refused because he is still a baby. Wang also brought a spice base for Hogo. He asked them to put a pot on and invited them to cook it. Mayo and Xiao were very happy because they also hadn't eaten Hogo for a long time. When the water began to boil, Wang put some oil, then spices. Mayo also asked not to put a lot because it might not work out, but Van assured that on the contrary, more is needed, and after that they will all enjoy this wonderful meal. Xiao then told Bao and Nan to pour water into the pot. Also told Wang that she had already sliced the mayo and washed the vegetables, and the protagonist told her to put everything here. Afterward, he told them that today's meal was quite modest compared to the others. Now, from now on, they will live in abundance every day. They all ate and enjoyed the meal very much. Wang noticed that Bao and Nan started crying, and even Lai started sobbing too. Everyone started crying, and Wang assumed that he had cooked too spicy food or that it was very terrible. But Mayo explained that they had not eaten such a meal for a long time and therefore felt emotional. Before the post-apocalypse, Hogo was a common food for them. Then there was a lot of food, the conditions were not so difficult, and everyone could enjoy life under a peaceful sky. Nan said that he really misses Mom and Dad. At that time their meal was always filled with happiness. Bao added that she also misses her family, but they will never return. Li said that he had a child, whom he missed very much, but after the onset of the post-apocalypse, he could not even protect his family, so now he has no one. The sisters also said that their relatives had turned into zombies. If Yun had not saved them with Ki, they would not have been sitting here with them today. Xiao said that the familiar taste brought them back to a time when they were happy. It's like when she listened to music and cried. All of them have been through a lot until today, and it hasn't been easy for all of them. Wang added that the post-apocalypse has already come, and the past is irreversible, so we must move on in life. He believed that with their painstaking work, they would be able to create their own home in this world. Xiao asked him what Wang was up to. He explained that there is a sea in the east, and he should go there. Even if they don't have a home, they can find an island and settle down there for now. As soon as they find a place with suitable soil and enough water, he will bring seeds and they will plant vegetables. They can also keep wild boars in captivity to no longer worry about food. It's a long way and they don't have a car, but he's sure that if they try hard, they'll get there. Li said he trusted him completely. Mayo also liked this idea, but the way to the east is very long, and the road is full of survivors and robbers. Bao also added that she and Nan have mastered shooting and will be able to protect them if anything happens. Wang added that it was not the time to get ready and hurry yet. First you need to eat your fill, so that tomorrow they will have a lot of strength. He invited them to drink to their future, as well as to honor the people who left with a wonderful future. Both girls understood that Wang was becoming more and more like a leader and that they were starting to like him more and more. Afterward, Wang said that he had clothes for each of them. The girls were surprised that he brought so many different clothes. Mayo understood that they were a little outspoken, and in general did not understand where he got them from. Zio told her that she thought that these clothes would suit her because she has a great figure. Mayo understood that they were pretty normal, so she wanted to try them on. When the officer left, Zio noticed the cat ears and was a little surprised. At this time, Wang was going to take a bath and relax. Then he noticed a note from Zio saying that she had prepared a hot bath for him. It was very kind of her and the water temperature was excellent. It was very good for him, because taking a bath in the villa is nothing, but taking a bath during the post-apocalypse is quite another matter. He immediately thought that he had a villa and a lot of money that he would not be able to spend for the rest of his life. And he hasn't fully enjoyed at least one day yet, so why should he come here again? But still, he has a heart and he would like to at least create a safe and secure living space and a barrier environment for everyone here, so that if the system suddenly fails and he cannot return, he would not have to worry too much. The system also said not to worry Van, because the system is very stable, and there are no problems. Wang was surprised that the system was reading all his thoughts, but she just explained to him that if he wanted to protect his partner in this world, then he had to find more gold to upgrade. Wang understood everything and told her to charge to make him stronger. Then Zio opened the door a crack and asked if he liked the temperature of the water. Wang said that everything was fine and thanked her. Zio then looked out and said she also wanted to take a bath. Wang also said that it was not good to take a bath together, but she went into him anyway. There was a half-naked Zio standing there. Because of her, he got very excited and even wanted to leave, but she climbed up to him and said that she wanted to take a bath with him. Wang told her that she was a little naive, because only two adults can take a bath together, only if they are in a loving relationship. Then she snuggled up to him and asked him if he wanted her to become his girlfriend. Wang asked if she liked him. Zio doesn't know exactly when exactly, but she thinks about him all the time. He was very surprised, and his thoughts prompted him to act, but he did not want to use her, because she probably perceived him as a brother. Then Zio felt that something had risen in the water and Wang apologized to her, because it was quite difficult for him to restrain himself. She said she wouldn't touch it and apologized. He hugged her and told her that it was possible to like her because he cared about her, but he didn't know if it was love or not. She assumed he didn't like her. He confessed that he likes her, but he can't take her.